We always have to recognize inside of us is that very conservative element that says, I want to change and grow, but at what cost? I don't want it to cost me too much. I don't want to have to deal with what it means to die psychologically in order to experience some kind of new life or new growth that comes to me. There are times in our life where the certainties, understandings of self and world are no longer applicable, no matter how sincere we are, how conscientious we are in their execution. And in those moments, we feel the ground slip away from underneath of us, whether we're conscious of that fully or not. We might urgently change relationship or career or make some kind of outer change, thinking that that will fix it and that will solve it. But underneath that is some other kind of groundswell that's seeking to express itself. And one of the things I've told to clients who come for therapy is you're going to have to be able to live with uncertainty for a while. Because that which is no longer applicable or useful or practical in your life is going to be replaced by something else. But we can't just jump from here to there. I think the cost of not changing is maybe to live someone else's life, meaning that one internalizes the messages from one's ancestors, internalizes the message from the culture at the time, and they're powerfully charged, of course. I mean, people have the fantasy that one lies on a couch like this and complains about mother and father and so forth. That's not how it works. On the other hand, stop and think, where were your first and most formative encounters with self and other? And what does that mean to you? How did that help define you or limit you or constrict you or instruct you? I think when one goes through significant losses in one's life, one has to say, all right, the energy that was there has now come back to me. What am I going to do with that energy? What is the task that this is asking of me? In the book Swamplands of the Soul, I suggested we often wind up in dark places like anxiety states or phobias or depressions or losses or whatever. And in every one of those swampland states, there is a task, the identification of which and the addressing of which can lead to growth and development, even in the face of whatever the trauma has been. The flight from that task means we stay in the role of the victim, and we stay stuck and powerless and so forth. And we are part of that nature. And it's violent inside of here too. And it's violent in the sense that all deaths in some way are the destruction of the old, and all deaths in some way are asking for that new to come, but it's only at the expense of the old. And the key, though, is the ego's relationship to that. I mean, it's going to go on regardless. That's why I think I had a good midlife depression, was I was resisting the change that was, facing me, resisting changes that needed to be made in my life. And I had various complexes standing there like guards with scimitars saying, you shall not enter here, as we all do. Freud was the one who really got us attuned to the idea of internal resistance. We say we want to grow and develop and resist it at every moment. And why? Well, because it's difficult. It will ask of us more than feels comfortable. It's very simple. And as such, we become our own agents of resistance. And that's why I've said that we become our own problem, because we stand in the way of our own evolution and growth. What is denied inwardly will have a tendency then to come to us as outer fate. That's a very scary thought, because then one has to say, so what is it I'm not looking at here? What am I not paying attention to? Because it's speeding toward me like a truck on the wrong side of the road. It's a very troubling thought, but it's a kind of summons to mindfulness, I think.